you look at this Mets bullpen right now, and you got 2 guys in there. I mean, 3 technically if you wanna count Denzel Nunez, but I think he's kind of, settle more into that 8th inning setup role. So we can just focus on Adrian Hauser and Jose Butto, guys that can eat innings, out of the bullpen. And I'm just wondering nowadays with starting pitchers, you look at saw what the Pirates did with Jared Jones in his start against, the Mets early in April. They took him out early. The Mets took Christian Scott out with 77 pitches. I'm just wondering with these, pitchers nowadays, at least at the beginning of their careers, where, they're just not going deep into games and whatnot. Are guys like Buto and Hauser who have the ability to potentially pitch 2 or 3 innings out of the bullpen, is there more value to those guys rather than, say, like the Adam Ottavinos in your bullpen or whatnot? With the Mets specifically in mind, figuring there's also the six-man rotation coming up, things like that. Are guys like Hauser and Buto like big gonna be like big X factors for the Mets bullpen compared to, you know, if Adam Ottavino can turn things around or, guys like that? I'm curious to get your thoughts on that.
I think it definitely helps, and especially if you now, like you mentioned, going to the six-man rotation, you will lose an arm in your bullpen. So then the multiple inning arms are even more useful. Curious to see how they handle it when they go to a six-man rotation if they send down Butto, because then you are back to one multi-inning arm. So it's curious to see how they handle that. It reminds me a little bit of the Gesellman and Lugo days, when we had two guys who mostly pitched 2 innings when they were in there, and then got a couple of days off, and then the other guy did it in the other game. Kind of reminds me with Butto and Hauser right now. I think Butto is a little bit more getting in there in the closer games than maybe Adrian Hauser is, besides obviously the game where Orsi pitched in, but that was just because there wasn't anybody anybody else available. So, but I think they could be huge. I think with it going to a six-man rotation, probably will still, you know, handcuff Scott a little bit. Obviously, Senga coming back from injury, you're gonna need those guys to pitch some innings, and they could be a huge part of this Mets bullpen and this Mets bullpen success.